Ready to start your own podcast? Well, using your phone simply won't cut it, so like it or not, you'll need to invest in some gear. In this video, I'm going to point you in the right direction for everything you need to get your podcast online. Editing software. There are plenty of audio editing software options out there, and each cater to different skill levels and intended uses. Here are a few recommendations for editing a professional quality podcast. Best for beginners, GarageBand. If you have a Mac, you can grab it for free. In fact, there's a good chance it's already installed on your machine. This software is going to be the most user-friendly for beginners. It gives you means to produce intros, outros, music, ads, EQ, multiple audio tracks, importing and exporting. For another free option for Mac and PC, Audacity. Audacity is an open source recording software which again is totally free to download. Link in the description below. Once you start to learn your way around Audacity, you'll have all the audio editing tools that can handle all your podcast editing needs. Microphones. The first two considerations when you're searching for microphones that suit your podcast and budget are dynamic versus condenser and XLR versus USB. Dynamic mics are often used on stage because they are usually more robust, but they also have many uses in the studio too. These types of mics are less sensitive. This can be a good thing when you have a very loud sound source. Most dynamic mics can handle higher SPL sound pressure level, so are less likely to distort on loud voices. Plus, these types of mics will help reduce background noise. Most condenser microphones use a thin metal diaphragm that vibrates in front of a fixed metal plate. As the diaphragm in the condenser microphone is lightweight, it responds faster to sound waves and therefore more sensitive. This sensitivity can create its own problems, however, like attenuating P or B plosive sounds, increasing sibilance, and picking up the squeaky chair you're sitting on. So for podcasting, make it easier for yourself, steer towards a dynamic mic. Check out my podcast comparison video in the link below. USB mics. These are becoming more and more popular because they are user-friendly and you can plug them straight into a computer. Some people turn their noses up at USB microphones, but in my experience, you can still get a good sounding product at an affordable price without needing to know too much about audio. The advantage of a USB microphone is there's no need for an audio interface. You can adjust the levels on your computer editing software. The disadvantage is you are limited to the amount of mics you have due to the amount of USB ports you have on your computer. Not the end of the world, just be aware of it. XLR connector for microphone cables. The 3-pin XLR is the most common and essential cable in the audio world. You'll find these with all your high-end microphones, which means you won't be able to plug straight into a computer with a microphone that uses these cables. For the highest quality podcasts with multiple guests, running XLR microphones into an interface is by far the best option for quality. If you do purchase XLR microphones, you'll need to purchase an audio interface of some sort. If you're on the move and want to keep your footprint small, you can run up to 4 XLR microphones into a portable Zoom H6 recorder. Then you can dump the recordings straight into your computer to edit afterwards. I've used these handheld recorders in the past for capturing audio for interviews I've filmed, and the quality and portability is great. Find a pair of headphones that completely cover the ear and will offer a nice clear flat sound, no boosted bass, so you'll have the perfect idea of how you actually sound. The Audio-Technica ATH M40s are a good option. They're comfortable and ideal for monitoring for your audio levels. This is a great choice for your podcast, and it's cheap enough to pick up a pair for your podcast guests too. Mac versus PC won't make much of a difference unless you plan on using GarageBand or Logic Pro for editing, because those programs are specifically for the Mac. Side note, you might need, depending on the type of USB cable, a powered USB hub to run your USB microphone directly into your computer. Audio interfaces are an integral part of every sound studio, providing the crucial bridge to record any analog source for use on your computer. Whether it's handheld, portable recorder, or a USB interface, you will obviously need some kind of interface to capture your podcast. There's a huge choice of USB audio interfaces to choose from multi-channel inputs to ultra-portable single-input devices. If you want to record on the road, a versatile and portable interface with a single input could be the right choice for you. Doing group podcasts? If you need to mic up 2 or more, you might want an interface with more inputs, such as the Steinberg UR22 or the UR44, which also supports iPad connectivity. I personally use the Audient ID14 as I'm not recording more than 2 things at once, but again, you may need more XLR inputs for multiple guests. Virtually all interfaces offer at least one headphone output, usually with a separate volume control. You may need to add a headphone splitter to enable your guests to hear the signal too when recording. Don't worry too much about your choice of interface. Most of them have all the key features needed to do their job, so it's hard to go too far wrong. Just make sure you'll be able to connect it to your computer. If you do create a home studio, be sure to check any background noise or unwanted sounds that might bleed through another room. Small carpeted rooms will be better than large open rooms with hard surface floors. If you can, you might want to set up blankets around you and your guests to dampen the room reflections. It's small things like this that will up the quality of your podcasts. I hope this video helps, and as always, if you have any questions, just give me a shout in the comments below. My name's Dan, and I'll see you in the next one.